Well, if this turns out to be true, as in they actually do reinstate and all that, we knew this was going on. We knew it was going on. Uh, that's why it's so stupid that these people now on the left are whining and complaining about, oh God, Jimmy Kimmel. These people have been silencing the right for years. Gina Carano, Roseanne, Tucker Carlson, the sitting president of the United States was banned and suspended from Twitter, not just Twitter, but all media, all social media. Hence why he had to create True Social in the first place. But oh no, poor Jimmy Kimmel. But Google admits censor. Now this is from the judiciary. Sorry, my mouth is extremely dry right now. Judiciaryhouse.gov. Um, Google admits censorship under Biden, promises to end bans on YouTube accounts of thousands of Americans censored for political speech. But what was that? But poor Jimmy Kimmel. This was back when people were like, hey, you guys notice the weird shit going on over here? Fucking mysterious cars dropping ballots off in the middle of the night and burst water pipes, and the Republican pollsters being forced out of the building and things being boarded up so they can't see it. What is this all? Nope, sorry, can't question it. Can't question it. Remember the well, we don't really trust a vaccine that was just, it's great that it's out, but maybe we should wait to take it until, when we know what's in. Nope, sorry. Either take the vaccine or get canceled. Yeah, remember that? That's right around same thing. Those two things. That's around the time where the left kept saying freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of consequence, and if you Twitter's a private company, they can do what they want. Today, thanks to the oversight of Chairman Jim Jordan, Google commits to offer all creators previously kicked off YouTube due to political speech violations on topics such as COVID-19 and elections an opportunity to return to the platform. Google also admitted, I mean, we know they did it. We have them on camera years ago flat out saying that they manipulate the search option, the search results to favor more like Biden positive. We have them saying it. We say that we see them how they freaking cry and have anxiety attacks seeing so much disinformation. We've known all of this. Also admitted to the following of the House Judiciary Committee: the Biden administration pressured Google to censor Americans and remove content that did not violate YouTube policies. The Biden administration censorship pressure was unacceptable and wrong. Public debate should never come at the expense of relying authorities. The company will never use third-party fact checkers. Yeah, that was the other thing. It's like fact checkers. Well, we've personally looked into. Yeah, I'm sure you did, and I'm sure you've come up with your own bias, your own bias confirmation. Europe's censorship laws target American companies that threaten American speech, include the removal of lawful content, and we're basically on track. If things don't change with this shit, we're on track to basically becoming like the UK, where you post a meme of something they don't like, and suddenly the fucking cops are showing up at your door. Oh yes, did you post this meme at 3:25 p.m.? Yeah. Yeah. Well, we need hands behind your back, please, for a meme. But then you have fucking child molesters and murderers walking around because police are too tied up arresting people who post fucking memes. These major missions come after Chairman Jordan's subpoena to Google and a years-long investigation into their company. We got King and Spalding by electronic mail. Dear Chairman Jordan, The statement of facts is submitted on behalf of our client, Alphabet Incorporated, and its subsidiary, YouTube, in response to subpoenas issued by the House Committee of the Judiciary on February 15th, 2023, and March 6th, 2025. Throughout the committee's investigation, Alphabet provided responsive information to the committee to fulfill its oversight responsibilities, producing internal records and providing extensive testimony, including more than 40 sets of responsive documents and the voluntary participation of 20 executives in transcribed interviews. Alphabet is a collection of businesses, the largest of which is Google. Alphabet's sneeze. All right. I've been sitting here for a few minutes trying to, work it out of my face. Too bad I can't work this out of my face. I'm unfortunately stuck with it. Why couldn't my parents have given me better genes? Instead, they just give me a good personality. Anyway. Alphabet's mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. Alphabet is committed to building helpful products for everyone, and the company aspires to give users the tools they need to increase their knowledge. The company is committed to doing their part to continue to keep the digital ecosystem safe, reliable, and open to free expression. But yet then they outright say that they manipulate the algorithm and shit. Me, when I was doing more political stuff, I was outright shadow banned because, free speech. But of course, the whole, it's a private company, freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom. So, clearly, when it's one side, it's perfectly fine. It's different when they do it. But this has been happening to people on the right for ages. But it happens to their sweet, sweet Jimmy Kimmel. Oh my God, this is a threat against democracy. Oh my God. A man shouldn't lose his job because of his opinion. Yeah, well, a man shouldn't lose his life over his opinion either, but look where we are. But sure, oh my God, poor Jimmy Kimmel, who apparently was given a show back, but not the same. It's not going to be shown in some major cities or something, so I gotta see more and look into more of that, but poor Jimmy Kimmel. Thoughts and prayers. The company is committed. Alphabet designs its products to work for everyone. Bias towards a particular viewpoint is not in line with the company's values or the company's business interests. Yeah, well, like I've said, Google outright admits to fiddling with the algorithm to make sure things come out in their favor. They don't want you seeing anything pro-Republican or pro-Trump because they don't want you to see him as a human being. They want you to see him as a monster. So they'll promote websites and everything that are spitting the truth and out of context. But then when you see the full clips, you're like, wow, what a bunch of fucking liars. Alphabet designs its products for everyone to work, products to work for everyone. Bias not values company business interests. Alphabet's business model depends on being a useful source of information for everyone, and home for users of all backgrounds. Unless you're straight white male conservative, then fuck you, right? Of course, this is, what they're saying, but Alphabet is a natural long-term business incentive to apply and develop its policies consistently, impartially, and independently. To the Honorable Jim Jordan, this was September 23rd, 2025. The committee and its investigations. The company appreciates the accountability from the House Judiciary Committee led by Chairman Jim Jordan, and its critical role in advancing the core American value of freedom of expression. The company has a commitment to freedom of expression. The commitment is unwavering and will not bend to political pressure that it did for 4 years. So, there's that. And like I said, it was obvious. Roseanne, she was removed from her own fucking show because they didn't like what she said. Gina Carano, Tucker Carlson, um, Alex Jones. Like, no matter how crazy you think fucking Alex Jones is, all these people removed because of what they had to say. But then you have people outright lying or spreading actual hate. Look at like people on The View. They are constantly spreading hate. Why haven't those four bitches been fucking canceled yet? You get people canceled for saying that there's only two genders, but these people are constantly calling half of the country Nazis and white supremacists and using all these heavy loaded words. Why are they still on the air? Oh, because it's different when they do it. Because they're using hate and fascism to fight hate and fascism, right? Company has committed to freedom of expression. Transparency regarding government interactions with private platforms is essential in fostering public trust and upholding principles of free expression. The committee's investigation brought a new light new information that enhanced public understanding of this respect. The Biden administration and Alphabet, the COVID-19 pandemic was an unprecedented time for which online platforms had to reach decisions about how to best balance freedom of speech, freedom of expression with responsibility, including responsibility with respect to the moderation of user-generated content, and that could result in real-world harm. Again, questioning, saying, we don't know what's in it. It's true though, because these people were asked to be transparent about what was going in these things, and they're like, nope, sorry, we don't have to. Nope, sorry. And it's not like you could just go up and go look it up online. The information was it's like with other shots. You can look up if you get a flu shot, you can see what's in the flu shot. You get for the measles or whatever, you can see what's in those vaccines. But no, they were not letting you know what was in this fucking COVID-19 shot. And people were like, well, then I don't want to take it. I don't want to take it. The same people who were saying my body, my choice when it came to the right to murder unborn children were suddenly telling us we needed to take this shot. Otherwise, we were a threat against democracy. You're a threat to democracy if you don't take the shot. Okay, well, I guess I'm a threat to democracy then. People were being pressured and like, oh, well, if you don't get the shot, you're going to be canceled. This was when the actual World War II stuff was actually happening. People calling up the police, calling the police on their neighbors, saying, oh, they're outside. They don't have a mask on. People were being arrested. People were being silenced. You had freaking people not able to see their loved ones. Sorry, I understand your grandma's dying, but you need to stay 6 feet apart. In fact, we can't even let you here right now. It's just, sorry, you can, through the window. And yes, that was a thing. The fucking doctors standing out there like this through the window, like, they love you. It was ridiculous. Or the remember the dancing nurses, how they were so swamped. There was just so many cases of people coming in, and yet they all have somehow found time for routine dance numbers. They're like, oh my god, it's so hard for us right now. Literally every bed round the clock, we are having to bust our asses as nurses, and yet they somehow find time to do a choreographed a practice choreographed dance number. And then when people call it, oh my God, these people are saving others' lives. No, they're not. While they're out there recording and then having to re-record because they messed up, people are actually dying. But oh God, God forbid, they do their job at work and then do this stupid shit when they get home. Oh, no. No, you know what? Let those people in those rooms die. They don't understand how hard it is to record a TikTok. I mean, it's got to be lined up perfectly. Everyone's got to be right on the dot. And if one messes up, well, there goes the whole video. You got to re-record the whole thing. Fuck those people. And if you say anything against these hard-working nurses, you're canceled. Senior Biden administration officials, including White House officials, conducted repeated and sustained outreach to Alphabet and press the company regarding certain user-generated content related to the COVID-19 pandemic that did not violate its policies. While the company continued to develop and enforce its policies independently, Biden administration officials continued to press the company to remove non-violative user-generated content. Unless it has something to do with my hair. In my hair, it's when it gets wet, it is unacceptable. The influence and actions and platforms based on their concerns regarding misinformation. It is unacceptable and wrong when any government, including the Biden administration, attempts to dictate how the company moderates content. And even Mark Zuckerberg, who's a flaming lefty as well, even he was like, yeah, the Biden administration was constantly pressuring us to censor certain things. And the company has consistently fought against those efforts and on First Amendment rights. YouTube's mission is to give everyone a voice and show them to the world. Every day, YouTube builds and improves tools and systems that empower creators, viewers, and business to find and share information. Over 2 billion logged-in users worldwide visit each month, and over 500 hours of content are uploaded every minute by an extraordinarily diverse community of creators who span over 100 countries and 80 languages. On a daily basis, users watch over 1 billion hours on YouTube. Sounds about right. Trying to find out if there's anything else worth showing. YouTube takes seriously the importance of protecting free expression and its access to a range of viewpoints. YouTube's community guidelines and terms of services apply equally to all users. No, they don't. From private citizens to the most public figures, most visible public figures, and all types of content, regardless. No, they're not. Again, my stuff wasn't even extreme, and I was shadow banned. When you have someone out there who's sitting there and saying, oh, no, don't listen to what anyone else says. You need to get the shot. You need to get it. Now, that's perfectly fine, but a video saying, hey, they're not telling you what's inside. It's just, as the kids would say, kind of sus. You can go online and look up the ingredients for any vaccine, but for some reason they are steadfast not wanting to say anything about this one. But if you questioned it, but like I said, it's different for them. I looked over at my wax melter and I was like, why is it not on? I turned it on like hours ago, so I was wondering why I wasn't spelling Hawaiian Bay Breeze. I was wondering why I wasn't. I guess I didn't click it on the whole way. I was like, okay, maybe it came undone or, unplugged. No, I don't think I actually turned it on. Go figure. Um, the company has transparently evolved its policy framework related to COVID-19 to ensure space for further debate and discussion on the platform, which they have. So now you can kind of talk about it and not have to worry about, uh, you know, being canceled. I guess, I think. But yeah, it's again, we knew it was happening. But of course, if you said this type of stuff was happening, guess what happened? You got canceled. So when they start trying to silence people because you're saying stuff like, hey, why is YouTube and Twitter and this and banning people? Like, I'm saying this, but then you have people like you're keeping the people who are doing outright porn on YouTube, but then banning people who say, hey, I think the people making the vaccine should be a little more transparent. No, that'll get you banned. But people making like literal porn for fucking YouTube are like, nope, nope, sorry, that's perfectly fine because they're not questioning anything. It's like Twitch. You have fucking cunts like Hassan Piker who are actually calling for the death of people that they don't like. No, no, that's perfectly fine. But some person questions and the last administration is like, sorry, this is too much for us. You're too much of an extremist for us. Um so we knew what was happening. Whether or not they actually do anything, I hope all those people get their accounts back, because there are some people who were just, like a spur of the moment, like, oh hey, this is affecting my real life, I'm going to talk about it, and then boom, ban. So if that's the case, and this was today, so, but I certainly hope they get their accounts back and stuff like that, because again, like with the elections, again, burst water pipes, mysterious ballots being delivered at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning, Republican pollsters being forced out of the building, and the things being boarded up to prevent anyone from looking inside. Anyone would see this wonky bullshit and question it. But if you question it, sorry, you're a threat against, a threat to democracy, and you were banned. So, anyway, it's different when they do it. Them using fascism and hatred and all that to fight fascism and hatred is a-okay. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.